morning. It is Monday morning, March the 7th. Anyways, I am going to read another reader question and answer it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then I'll give you a quick overview every week, or I've been trying to do every week, answer a reader's question that is sent in. And this week, I should have really pulled up this question again because now I've got to go searching for it in my email. So if you want to email me a reader question, just message me at tonyak11.tk@gmail.com and I will get to your question. Hopefully when I can. I mean, soon. I'm trying to go back and back and back. But I would love to answer your question. Again, you can email me any question at TonyaK11 at TK. Wait, it's TonyaK11.tk@gmail.com. It's still early. Really, it's not that early, but I had to go to Tim Hortons. And tonight I have my church group. We have small groups at church, and I go every Tuesday, and we're the crafty chicks. So, yeah, we make crafts and do all that kind of stuff. So I bought the Tim Bites for them tonight. So I went to get a coffee and some Tim Bites. So it doesn't seem like that early because really it's like 10 o'clock. But it's still kind of early for most people. And let me let Charlie in. He's outside. Come on, Charlie. Okay, so the question today is from Susan McDonald, and her question is, Tonya, now that you have two boys in college and one left at home, how has that affected your writing schedule? And that's a really great question. My writing schedule had always been my husband gets up at 5:30 and he, like most men think he's super quiet, but he's not. So you know, sleep on the side of the bed where our ensuite is. So when he turns on the light, I'm like, ding. So I would get up at 5:30 when he would get up and come downstairs and make lunches because, at any given time between the four boys, and it was three boys, and now it's one boy, we just simply could not afford to do school lunches because we were doing school lunches, and then the school, we would put like $50 in their account at the beginning of the week. And that's like $200. And so what happened was that the school would call me at the end of the week and say, oh, so-and-so is like negative $20. And I'm like, well, how could that be? They don't, they're just having lunch. And she's like, oh, well, he comes to school and has breakfast. And then at lunch, he buys all his friends ice cream. So I'm like, okay, so now we all on school lunch. So now that I just have, so when the twins no longer were in high school, then I didn't have to make sure they got up for anything because, Austin was off to college, Brady's still at home. And so, but, he gets himself up. And then there's Jack, and Cody, obviously, he's gone off to college. But then there's Jack, and Jack is pretty self-sufficient. And so he gets himself up. So when when the beginning of this year started, I was still getting up. I was still getting up, getting everything done, even though I didn't have to do all those school lunches. I just had to do Jack's, which, doesn't take that long when you do one. And then I would wait till he got up. He goes to college also part-time. So he's in high school part-time and in college part-time. So some days he doesn't have to get up to like 9 o'clock and be out of the house. Some days he gets up at 7. So I really don't know his schedule because it varies. And so he's pretty self-sufficient. He gets himself up. So over Christmas, when we were all home and we were all sleeping in, except for Eddie, because he was still going to work, then I decided, wow, I don't have to get up at 5:30 anymore. Why am I doing this to myself? And, although my production time, my writing time was always in the morning, I'm like, I can write at any hour of the day and be good. So before, when everybody was in high school, I would exercise in the morning. I would make sure I walked my dogs at a certain time, eat lunch at a certain time, promotions, marketing, emails. And that way, by the time they all got home at 2:30, I was done with my day and I could start getting dinner ready and all that kind of stuff. And now, I don't really have to do all that. Nobody's in sports except for Jack. He is the manager of our high school basketball team, so we went to his games. Um, and they just recently lost in the regional tournament. But also, he is now the manager of our local Northern Kentucky University College, where he's going to be going to school. Who are, tonight will, if they win, will actually go to the NCAA tournament in Indianapolis and play Louisville. We're not Louisville fans. We're not Rick Pitino people. So, anyways, but it's still exciting because this is the first year they've been eligible. His school, Northern, moved up to NCAA Division One, and so this is their first year. It's the first year they're going to go to the big dance, hopefully, and so next year we'll have season tickets. So next year I'll be going to all those university games to support Jack. So, but right now, I don't have to get up. So I now. It's interesting. Charlie doesn't get up at 5:30 anymore, neither does Scooter. So I get up about 7 and I have my coffee and I might hop on Facebook and say good morning or whatever. And then Charlie gets up at like 8 and Scooter gets up with them at like 8 on their own. They all of a sudden pop down the stairs. By that time I've made lunch, or sometimes I make Jack's lunch before the day start, or before, the night before. So it's just ready. And I realized that one of my best writing times now is like 1 to 3 o'clock. So, and then at night. So, when I used to work full time outside of writing, I always wrote at night. That was always one of my best times. So I'm discovering new times, new things about myself. I'm actually sleeping. And it's been a complete change over the past few months, and it's been great. And so, people are like, oh, I don't see you on Facebook much anymore. And, I don't live my life around Facebook anymore. As a matter of fact, I deleted it from my phone. I deleted my email from my phone. And so I get on Facebook about 2 to 3 times a day, and that's it. I try to hit everybody. It's really hard. I still do some of my Twitter stuff. I'm always on, I do like Instagram and Pinterest, so I do post pictures there a lot. And so, you can always catch me over there. I'll put all the links in the comments below so you guys can check that out. But that was a great question. And so the lengthy answer, lengthy answer is that, as my kids have always grown, my schedule was different through, grade school. And then when I went to middle school, my schedule changed. Then when I went to high school, my schedule changed. And I like to say that as my kids changed, I altered my life to help their life. And to make them grow and become adults. And so now I don't have to do that. Now I can make sure that I'm an adult and work on my career and spend my day doing what I want. So I hope that answered your question. And if you have any other questions, again, you can email me at tonyak11.tk@gmail.com. And I hope you guys have a great morning. See you soon. Bye.